guys, how's it going? It's Matt from Fidelity Gaming TV, and this is the final episode of our division previews for the 2013 through 2014 NHL season. This is the Atlantic Division. We've already done Pacific, Central, and Metropolitan, so we want to do the Atlantic just to close things out. This is a very good division. I can't wait to talk about the teams. Again, there's 8 teams in this division, and yeah, let's go ahead and start off with the Boston Bruins. So the Boston Bruins had a very great season last season. They were just a couple wins shy of the Stanley Cup. And you know what? That was a great final. So I felt bad for them that they didn't win. I was kind of actually rooting for them to win, even though I knew Chicago probably deserved to win a bit more. Yeah, Boston didn't win, but let's be honest, they are really good. The only thing they really lost over the offseason was Nathan Horton, so and I guess you could say Jaromir Jagr, but really they still have the same team, and they have a pretty decent offense. They brought in Louis Eriksson, which I think was good, because Tyler Seguin really kind of wasn't working out for them after that one year they won the Cup. He didn't do much, so Eriksson will bring some new life. Defense is really good as always. Tuukka Rask still going to be stellar in net. I think this team is going to win the division, and I think they can go pretty far in the playoffs. All right, the next team, Buffalo Sabres. Now, Buffalo Sabres definitely not doing too good lately. They need some help. Drafted a couple of guys. Grigorenko was the one they most recently tried to bring up last year, and then I think they had to send him down because he wasn't performing the way they wanted him to. So maybe he'll come up and help him out this year. I'm really not sure, but Ryan Miller, he's not cutting it for us or for them. I feel like he was good at one point, and then I think it was that last playoff appearance I think they had against Philadelphia when they lost in 7. After that, I feel like Ryan Miller hasn't been anything too special. The offense, they gave up Jason Pominville last year to Minnesota. I didn't really like that trade either, so they're not doing too much to help themselves here. Not too much to hurt themselves either, but I don't see them making the playoffs this year. I see them finishing towards the lower end of the division and league. Next up is the Detroit Red Wings, making the switch with the Columbus Blue Jackets from the Western Conference to the Eastern Conference. So Detroit finds themselves in the Atlantic Division. I think this is a really cool division, by the way. It's a bunch of original 6 teams. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 original 6 teams in this division. That's awesome. So it's going to be a good division. Detroit, I think coming to the Eastern Conference, it's maybe will favor them a little bit because they're not so high scoring in the Eastern Conference. It's maybe Pittsburgh and a couple other teams, but really it's a lot about defense. So I think they have a pretty good defense. It's not bad. Obviously, they have a great goaltender in Jimmy Howard. They're looking pretty good. Cronwall's a great defenseman. You got Datsuk with his dangles on offense. I think they will do a pretty good job this season and make a big jump from previous seasons. I think they will finish either 2nd or 3rd in this division. All right, next up is the Florida Panthers. So the Florida Panthers had a really bad season, finished last in the league. They got the 2nd overall pick, though, thanks to Colorado's lottery victory. But you know what? I'm really surprised that they didn't draft Seth Jones. I really am. They decided to go with Barkov, who, he could turn out to be good, but I just feel like Seth Jones would have been the better pick, and I'm surprised he went all the way to 4th overall. So really disappointed that Florida didn't pick Seth Jones when they have the opportunity to, but hey, maybe they knew what they were doing, and maybe Barkov will turn out to be good. I'm not sure if he's going to make the cut this year. I want to say he will, just because they really don't have too much they don't have many expectations. The expectations aren't that high. So I'd maybe see him in a couple of games, maybe even get a starting role. But Huberdeau's definitely going to be a big player. Campbell, always a great defenseman. Goalies, though, not good at all. Clemenson just got injured. So goaltending, they need help on. A little bit defense. Just pretty much everywhere they need some help on. They're not going to make the playoffs. I'm not sure if they're going to get out of the bottom 5, but they're not making the playoffs. Next up, we have the Montreal Canadiens. Now, the Montreal Canadiens did pretty good last season. They got the 2nd seed. Unfortunately, they lost to the Ottawa Senators, the 7th seed. But I think that the Montreal Canadiens, they have a great goalie in Carey Price. He, hasn't been spectacular, but he's been above average. He's been pretty good, so that's good. You got a pretty good offense. Gallagher, I'm just naming some guys. Gallagher, Eller really stepping up. Kemmler, they traded. Bork, they got back from him, and he's doing all right. And then you got a couple other guys, but really, I don't know if Montreal, what they're going to do. I think that they're going to get the wild card in this conference or this division because I don't think they're good enough to break the top three. They could surprise me, but I see them getting the wild card in this division and making the playoffs. All right, next up is the Ottawa Senators. Now, the Ottawa Senators, like I said in the last team, the Montreal Canadiens, the Senators did beat the Canadiens in, I believe it was 5 games or 6 games in the quarterfinals last year. Great season for them. I see it being better than last season. Picking up Bobby Ryan in the offseason, that was a great move. I thought that was a fantastic move. What else? They did lose a couple. They lost their captain Daniel Alfredson to the Red Wings, and that's a great addition to the Red Wings. I forgot to say, but they still got a great offense. Spezza, they got some youngsters coming up. Defense, you got Gonchar, you got Carlson, obviously, and then goaltending. They have Craig Anderson. So, you can't really go too wrong with Craig Anderson. He's playing well. I think everyone's going to play well, and I see them either finishing second or third in this division next to Detroit. Next up, we have the Tampa Bay Lightning, who, to my shock, actually didn't do too good last year. I thought they were going to do a bit better. Stamkos is always doing good for them. You can't really say Stamkos is going to have a bad year because he always has an above-average year in Tampa, but you can't really rely on one guy to carry you. Martin St. Louis, he's getting old, and then they just traded away or lost LeCavier to the Flyers, and then their goaltender they got from Ottawa, Ben Bishop. The question is, can he start? Can he start as a goaltender? And I think he's going to be the starter. I just don't know if he has what it takes to be a good enough starter. So I don't think he's going to do too good. Obviously, Stamkos is going to do good, but Matt Carl's all right. He's like one of their best defensemen, but really, Tampa is kind of in a bad situation. I don't see them making the playoffs. They're going to fall somewhere in between the bottom 5 and making the playoffs. Lastly, the last team on this division preview, the Toronto Maple Leafs, shocking everyone last year and making the playoffs, ending their, I believe it was a 10-year drought or even more than that. So what is in store for Toronto? This is going to be a pretty tough decision to make because they already are, looking at the first top 3 seeds being occupied. So how are they going to make the playoffs? Well, you look at the offense. Phil Kessel, Joffrey Lupul, he's amazing. And then you got, they just signed Kadri. And so, they got a pretty good offense. They did lose, they did gain a couple of guys. Boland, I believe. They lost a couple of guys too. Their goaltending, they got Reimer now being backed up by the former Los Angeles Kings backup, Jonathan Bernier. So we'll see how he is. Toronto, though, it's going to be tough. I see them battling out for the wild card against Montreal, and it's going to be a tough one. It's original 6 matchup, but I think Toronto will fall short, just short of the playoffs, and it's going to be unfortunate for them. All right, so thanks, guys, for watching this part 4 of the division previews for the 2013 through 14 NHL season. This is going to be a good season to remember. Hopefully, we get a good Stanley Cup final matchup just like last year, and we'll see how my predictions went. I am ready to get the NHL season underway. Preseason is underway, and so thanks, guys, for watching. Stay tuned for more videos. Check out the channel. Give us a like. Most importantly, subscribe. This is Matt signing off of Fidelity Gaming TV. Peace.